Sa harap po ng mga panawagang tanggalin na sa pwesto si VP Sara, para po sa inyo, may sapat na bang dahilan para siya'y ma-impeach?
Kung titignan ko may sapat na dahilan, madali naman sabihin na meron, ano? Kasi sa mga nakita natin nung weekend, and also if we take in consideration yung mga ibang pangyayari tungkol sa confidential funds, doon sa mga actions ng Vice President natin after the weekend, a case of betrayal of public trust can be made, you know. So ang tanong is impeachment worth pursuing? That is the question that we need to be asking ourselves.
So ito po ay impeachment is a political exercise. But is there anything criminal dito po sa kanyang ginawa?
Well, kung criminal ang pag-uusapan, yes, of course, no. Posibleng plunder, as one of the lawmakers have suggested, no. So kung tututukan mo yung plunder lang, then that's already a big case, no, kasi non-bailable yan. So between impeachment or filing a plunder case, lalong-lalo na kung kikilusan to ng ombudsman, given the evidence that's already available, then maybe that's worth pursuing rather than yung impeachment na gaya nga na sinabi mo, Corina, is really just a political process, no? So we might be better off pursuing a criminal case of plunder dahil hindi namang immune from suit yung Vice President, so pwede na to gawin ngayon pa lang.
Kung hindi po siya immune from suit, ibig sabihin pwede po siyang kasuhan, pwede rin po ba siyang ipakulong kung sakali pong manalo ang kaso laban sa kanya?
Yes, certainly, no? Like what happened to Senator De Lima before, no? Ang hindi lang pwede is patanggalin siya sa office, no? Kasi ayon sa ating saligang batas, the only way to do that is by impeachment, no? To remove her from office.
Hindi po pwedeng sabay ang aksyon. Impeachment and a criminal case.
Well, theoretically pwede, no? Kasi those are two different causes of action. Hindi siya pasok, at least upon my first impression, hindi siya pasok dun sa forum shopping, no? So, pwedeng sabay, but it's going to be a very difficult process, no? Kasi yung impeachment, as you said, it's a very volatile, divisive, and partisan politics will certainly have a big role there, no? So kung tututukan yung dalawa, kung gagawin yung dalawa, then baka may dilute yung effort ng gobyerno, no? So magandang pag-isipan kung ano ba yung mas gusto natin mangyari. Mapasagot o mapanagot yung nagkasala ng isang krimen na plunder o yung mapatanggal ang isang public official sa kanyang pwesto. So these are the things that we should be thinking about.
Nababanggit po ninyo ang plunder, pero ito pong tinatawag na conditional threat. Ilan pong mga abogado ang ating nakaugnayan at sabi po nila, wala pong ganoon sa kahit na anong libro ng batas. Meron po bang aksyon na maaaring isulong laban po sa mga pahayag ni VP Sara tungkol po dito sa sinasabing banta sa buhay ng ating nakaupong presidente?
Well, definitely not conditional threat. No? Wala talaga yun. Ano? So, kung pagbabatayan lang natin yung video na lumabas over the weekend, meron na kagad tayong mga naiisip na possible indictments. No? So, pwede yung grave threats, pwede ring inciting to sedition, pwede rin, ako nga, ang naiisip ko, conspiracy to commit murder. So, these are theoretically some of the crimes some of the indictments that can be filed against her. But of course, we have to defer to the DOJ kasi sila hihimay-himay nito eh. Aalamin talaga nila saan ba talagang papasok na krimen, ano? At marami pang mga ebidensyang pwedeng makalap yung NBI and also the DOJ. So, hindi pa natin masisigurado ano ba yung actual na indictment na pwedeng ma-file. But certainly, theoretical discussion, pwede yung threat, grave threat, pwedeng inciting to sedition, at pwede rin sa tingin ko lang, although hindi ako criminal law expert, is yung conspiracy to commit murder.
Lalo kung makakausap yung kanyang kinausap at pinagbilinan na tao.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely yes.
Opo. Huling tanong na lamang po, kaugnay naman po sa pag-question ni dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa patuloy na suportang ibinibigay ng militar kay Pangulong Marcos. Ano pong inyong opinion dito? Does this constitute inciting to sedition?
Well, on first impression, yes, no? Kasi syempre, parang iisipin mo, meron siyang gustong ipahiwatig na magbitiw yung ating armed forces, ano? But we have to balance this, no? So this can fall under free speech, and we now consider whether yung clear and present danger threshold has been breached para talaga masabi na hindi ito protected ng free speech. Pero kasi kung ako tatanungin mo, parang yung clear and present danger threshold has not been breached, no? Kasi unang-una, yung integrity ng armed forces natin remains strong, no? Hindi talaga sila matitinag kahit sino pa magsabi na o magsuggest sa kanila ng kung ano man, ano? And second of all, wala namang popular support doon sa binigkas ni dating Pangulong Duterte. So it's just someone who has a name, who's a former president, expressing an opinion, right? Now, wala namang effect. Walang epekto na nakakabahala o nakakapangamba para sa atin. So, I would treat it as an opinion that's protected by free speech because the clear and present danger threshold has not been breached. No? So, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Ateneo Senior Research Fellow Michael Yusinco.